Welcome to a new GM mode. This time, I am going to be playing as the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, I know they don't have the biggest fan base, but I really think that they're going to be an interesting team to do. They got a lot of good players, and yeah, I think they have a good core to build around. I don't know how the series is going to go. I don't know what direction to go in, but I'm very excited to get this going. I'm going to be turning off owner mode. It's a fun mode, but they really need to put a lot of effort and work into it. It's not complete. It's not fun to do at the end of the day. CPU trade, morale, yeah, I'll keep the meetings on. Yeah, why not? I'll keep the chemistry on. Waivers, salary cap, and I'm going to put assistant coach off for now. I like to do my own lines. When it gets to the AHL, I might actually end up putting the assistant coach on for that. I'm not too sure yet, but at least for now, I'm just going to be going through the team, maybe coming up with a few possible trade scenarios just to get the team going. I was flip-flopping between Carolina and New Jersey. I really couldn't put my hand on either one. My mind was like 49 to 49. I just couldn't figure out which one to go to. I picked Carolina though. Really no reason at all. I just thought they'd be a funner team to do than New Jersey. But let's see what we have to work with. I have kind of taken a look at the roster, but not very in-depth. First of all, let's go to draft picks, actually. I was going to go to goaltending, but let's just go to draft picks. What do they got going on? So, we have ours and New York second. So, we have 2 second-rounders. We have Boston's 5th. We don't have ours, but okay. And we don't have our 3rd, but we have Chicago. That won't be good. I think we're going to do... we're going to draft higher than them. But nonetheless, we do have a draft pick in every round. What about the future? And for the future, we have every single draft pick available. Okay, nice. So they haven't given away too much. We have an extra second to work with. Maybe for a trade, maybe to draft. I'm not too sure. Goaltending. That is going to be an issue for year 1. Cam Ward and Eddie Lack. Damn, I wish Eddie Lack had a better overall. I really think he should. He's a way better goalie than 81. But, anyways, Cam Ward, technically, he is a starting goaltender, so we do have a nice tandem of a starting and a backup goalie for year 1, but 84 and 81, really not the best. I have no idea what Cam Ward is going to put up in terms of stat production. I don't think it's going to be too great. We do have a starting goaltender, though, coming up in the system. He's 20 years of age. Yikes, I don't think he's going to make it. He might... I can't recall ever seeing him in the game get to a high overall. I don't remember seeing him at like an 85 or higher ever. 20 years of age and only 68 overall is quite bad though. We don't have any other goaltending though, so unless we pick up like an elite goalie in the draft, I don't want to say to trade him right off the bat because he does have starting potential, but 20 years of age and not even 70 overall, not looking good. Unless he gets a big jump this season, he's basically done for. Defense. I know we have Justin Falk and Hannafin. I'm not too sure who else, though. In terms of overall, who do we have? So, we only have one major defenseman, Justin Falk. 24 medium elite. He might get up to a top 2. I believe I've seen him get up to a 90 before, if I'm not mistaken. So, I know he can jump, but he's only got 1 season, possibly 2 to have any growth. Hopefully he can get up to a top 2. That would be very nice. And then we got Noah Hannafin. Elite potential. He is going to be a top 2 defenseman, I feel like. 19 and 83 overall. That is what you want to see out of growth. You know he's going to be good. He already has basically 85 and 86 for defense. He's decently physical, he can skate, his puck handling, puck skills isn't terrible, but it's decent. Decent for a defender compared to Falk. Okay, yeah, obviously Falk is better, but in a 5 years, who knows, maybe he'll get up to Falk. He'll definitely be like an 87, 88 for sure, top 4, but he might get to a top 2 actually instead of Falk. Falk might stay at a high 80, top 4, and Hannafin might actually be the one to get to 90. This upcoming season, or the off season, he might jump up to like 86, 87, you never know. So that's good to see. Ron Hainsey, he might be a trade piece, but probably not. I mean, he doesn't have any value. I guess we could add him to a trade, maybe as like to sweeten the deal. If it comes up saying we need to sweeten the pot, we could throw him in. What's his contract like? Only 1 year, so we can keep him and just dump him to free agency at the end of the year if we need. But I mean, he's decent. He's decent. He'd be great on a Stanley Cup team though, as like a cheap 6 defenseman. Fences is all in 80s, defense is all in 85s. Pretty solid. He's okay. And then Slavin and Fifi. That's how you say his name, right? I'm pretty sure I got that name right. Fifi. I'm 99% sure that's how you say it. But 2 top 6 high potential defensemen. Slavin is 22 and Fifi is 21. Fifi is 80 overall and Slavin is 81. So if you're going off of the projection of what they might become, I think Fifi is going to be better. He has an extra year to grow, and he's only 1 overall behind Slavin. But we've seen Slavin get up to like a solid 85, great stats. I've had him on my team in Montreal, I believe, so I know he turns out to be a pretty good defenseman. I don't know about Slavin, though. Hopefully he does. No other defensemen, so we only have 5 defensemen in the 80s. We'd have to get another one. In terms of potential, we do have, they're low. 2 low elites now. Bean might turn out to be somebody. He's 18 years of age, which means we have absolutely no clue. He could be a bust, but at 18 years of age, he could still turn out to be something special. Fleury, on the other hand, I think is going to turn out to be a trade piece. Same thing as the goaltender. He's 20 years of age and only 70. Now, if he was elite, I'd maybe give him a chance, but at low potential, I don't think he's going to get up to even a top 6 defenseman. He might, if you think he will and you want me to keep him to see, I could, but I think he might end up being a trade piece. We have a top 6 defenseman, 20 years of age at 68 overall, medium. His trade value is decent, though. So I think he will turn out to be a top 6. However, we have Fifi and Slavin now. When you get high potential, usually they turn out to be better than what the potential is. They break through the ceiling. So they both might turn out to be top 4 defensemen, but they might not. They might just be 84 top 6 defensemen. I think McCowan might be a trade piece. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. In terms of, that's basically what we have. We got Falk, Hanifin, Slavin, Fifi, possibly McCowan, and then possibly Bean and Fleury. Going to forwards. Let's check out what we got to work with here. I haven't done any in-depth on the forwards, so I really don't know. They got Jordan Staal and Rask. I know that. Skinner, Lindholm, and Teravainen. They could get up to a second liner, potentially. Lindholm for sure, because he's a year younger than Teravainen, but he's a better overall. So I think Lindholm will get up there. His offensive category is quite nice already. 84 on defense isn't the best, but he's not quite a liability. Teravainen, I'd say, is. I'd rather trade Teravainen than Lindholm for sure. He could still get up there, but I definitely would place my money on Lindholm above Teravainen. And plus, the defense. 82, that is a liability for defense. They're both playmakers too. Do we really need that many playmakers? What is Rask? And he's a playmaker too, so yeah, we might want to get rid of one of Teravainen and Lindholm in the future. Skinner, I know he's a sniper. Low potential. Do you think that should be elite? I could change. I mean, I'm not going to make any moves in between episodes, so if you want me to change anybody's potential, I definitely can. I don't know. I'm not against it, and I'm not for it, but if you think it should be medium instead of low, I don't think it should be high, but if you think medium, then sure. But Jordan Staal, definitely I'd say on the trade block. $6 million for 7 years. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but by the time we are going for the cup every season, he's going to be almost retired, and that trade value, in terms of who we have to trade, obviously we're not trading Skinner, we're not trading Falk, we're not trading Hanifin. Staal is the best trade value that we have to give. If we're going to get a great prospect or a great forward, which looks like we need, we got defense, We need offense. Stahl might be the one to trade. Trade him to a contending team for a younger player. That is definitely a possibility. Now, let's check out who else do we have here. Basically, that's it. We got Stefaniak, Stahlberg, McClement. What about the contracts? Anybody we got to dump? Stefaniak definitely would. I mean, 2.5, it's not bad, but it could be an extra couple million to give away, to clear up cap space. Holy, we have 22 salary cap available. Wow, we can make a big splash in the oncoming off season, because I'd like to speed up the process as quick as possible. I don't want to be rebuilding for more than like a season. I'd like, if we have to get a top 5, top 10 draft pick this season, so be it. But I want to have at least 15 and up for draft pick next year. I want to be a good team quickly. What about contracts? So Rask is locked down at a very good contract, especially if he can continue to grow. 85, not the best, but I think he could get up to like an 86, 87. If he could, that contract will be legendary. Skinner, 3 seasons, 5.7, not bad, especially if we change him to medium. He could probably get up to like an 87, 88 maybe, and then that contract would look a lot better. In terms of prospects, do we have any? Who is this? Julien Gauthier, definitely a Frenchie. Another low potential guy. He's 18, again, you never know, but his trade value is so low, I doubt he's going to fulfill that trade value. Definitely doubt it. We got a 19-year-old Celera. He is a two-way forward. We got, that's it. Okay, that's it. Oh, and we got Sebi, Sebastian Aho. Okay, we know he can turn out to be a good player. Hopefully he does. It looks like in the last GM mode, his potential didn't get fully filled. Hopefully it does. I'd like to see him get back up in the overall. If he does, definitely. Well, I don't know what his stats are gonna look like, but if they're similar to last time, definitely change him to a two-way forward. That's about it. We got a couple top 9s. He's a playmaker. We have a lot of playmakers. Holy shit. We got another Zykov, a sniper. No, I don't want a sniper on the bottom 6. He could be a trade piece as well. That's about the team we have going. Now, what's the status? We are a rebuilding team. I don't know. I think definitely I don't think we should push to make the playoffs, but I don't know if we should necessarily try and tank as well. Let me just take a look at what the lineup is looking like as it is without making any moves. Fuck it, I'll turn it on. I'll turn it on for now. So we got Stahl, Skinner. If Stahl gets traded, I mean, yeah, definitely it looks like we're going to be a tanking team. Rask and Skinner, I don't know. That's rough. It's not terrible, but it definitely isn't good. I mean, we could simulate a month or two just to see how the team is doing, but we're not winning a cup at the end of the day. Even if we do make like the 8 or 7 seed in the conference, we're not gonna be making any noise. We're gonna get eliminated within the first 2 rounds, probably the first round. I mean, I couldn't make it out of the second round with a team full of 90s. I won't be able to make it out of the first round with this team for sure. Stahl, I definitely think, is going to be traded. Now, I have taken a peek at free agency. There really isn't anybody, but there's definitely people we can fill out the team with. The D-man, now we have 16 million available to spend. We can get basically anybody we want for a 1-year deal. James Wisniewski, god damn it, couldn't say that. We could pick him up, but if we're gonna tank, then why would we pick him up, right? If we're gonna try and tank, we may as well do it to the fullest and just grab up that last seed in the league. And if we're going to tank, also we can trade away Cam Ward. Now, goalies, is there any potential goalies that we got? A couple backups. The 22-year-old, might want to sign him. Really nobody, though. Doesn't look like it. Any potential guys for defense? Come on, game, be quicker. A couple 20-year-olds. Okay, I might want to pick them up. You never know. They could get good production. Yeah, I might pick them up in free agency. Forwards, high top. Oh, shit, he's 24. Damn. That sucks. Damn, and then the bottom, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any forwards available to pick up. What about overall? I don't think so. No, I mean, we could pick up a guy like Semin, we could pick up Eliash, we could pick up Kennedy. We could get those three guys to fill out the lineup. It looks like we are going to be a tanking team. I really don't know. We're going to have to make a splash in free agency. If we want to make a quick turnaround, which I think is the direction we should try and head into, I think we're going to have to snatch up as many guys in free agency as possible. Young guys, though. I'm not going to just get everybody to try and win in the next season. But if there's any good young players available, I definitely do think we should try and get them. Okay, so I was looking around the league, just trying to pre-scout a bit. You never know what could come up. And I came across an interesting trade that could happen. Jordan Staal, if we sent him to LA, they got a decent forward, Nick Shaw. Now, he's top 9 potential, but it's high. We've seen him get to like an 89 overall. I don't know if we can bet on him getting there again. 23, it's definitely possible. In the previous GM mode, once I traded him, he actually jumped up to an 89 overall on Chicago. He could get up to a pretty good center, and if that happens, we could, depending on what happens with Rask, we could put him down to the third line. If he grows, though, that could be our 1-2 punch. We could do the thing where we get 2 solid centermen, about the same overall, 87, 88-ish, and then just build really good wingers around him. Get like 89 to 90 right wing and left wingers around him. We potentially have one in Skinner. I'm not too sure how that's going to pan out. Oh no, I'm on centers. Yeah, we do potentially have one in Skinner. I think he definitely could get up to like an 8. I think he'll get up to a first liner. If he doesn't, that is terrible, terrible news. But this is one trade option that could come through. Another interesting trade I came across on Edmonton, Leon Draisaitl. Now, in the game, they don't have, like, in real life, obviously, he's playing his tits off. He's better than Nugent Hopkins, but in the game, he's not. He's 20 years of age at 84 overall. His trade value is nice and low. I mean, it's low potential, but he's got a good overall and age to go with it. I definitely think he could get up to like an 86, 87. It wouldn't take much to get him. It really wouldn't. And what I was thinking about is, I mean, we have let me go to all skaters. We have a couple low potential guys ourselves. We got Gauthier, and then we got Fleury and Bean. Maybe we hold on to Bean because he's younger, and maybe give him Fleury. He's 20 years of age. Oh, I mean, we'd have to give up more because he's not at the level Draisaitl is. He's already at 84, but that could be a nice base to the trade, giving them Fleury for Draisaitl. I don't know what else we would give up. I don't think they'd want Jordan Staal. I mean, maybe we could make a blockbuster. I don't know what I'd really get back from them, though. I don't know why they'd trade more than Draisaitl. And again, talking in the game, they have McDavid and Nugent Hopkins for the 1-2 punch. Draisaitl, if he's going to continue to grow, he's going to get lost on the third line. He's going to become too good for that third line. I actually like this trade more than the Nick Shaw trade. I do. Nick Shaw has a high potential, but Draisaitl's younger and he's better than him already. I definitely think Draisaitl could be a very good option to go after. If we're talking about making a trade to a champion contending team, perhaps go to Chicago and try and get Panarin. Now, this one is definitely the most unrealistic on the couple I've come up with so far. If we get Panarin, again, why would they give him up, right? But just potentially, I guess we could give him like Jordan Staal and maybe Fleury. You know, I don't know. Maybe that could happen. Give him Fleury. Maybe give up this low potential guy. We'd have to get more from Chicago, obviously, but I don't know. That's definitely the most unrealistic one, but perhaps go after Panarin. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Type your ass out in the comments and let me know who I should go after to try and get. Now, obviously, in the game, we are one full season behind real life. Well, not a full season, but in real life, they've already played this next season and pretty much a good chunk of the postseason. So if we're talking about realistic trades, technically it could be realistic to make a trade to Colorado to go after maybe Duchesne, perhaps. I don't know, but again, in the game, we're a season behind. Who knows? Maybe they end up making the 5th seed in the Western Conference in the game's simulation. I'm not too sure, but maybe we go after a guy off Colorado like Duchesne. Again, kind of unrealistic, but we could maybe fit it into a storyline. I don't know, just coming up with any trade possibilities. Okay, so another possibility for a trade, Nino Niederreiter. Top 6, high potential. He's a second liner, 24. Not the great age to trade for. He definitely, I think he could still jump up there, but potentially, if we trade Jordan Staal, we could maybe get him back. They're a contending team, maybe. Montreal is another interesting team. They're looking to win pretty soon. Maybe we could snag Sherback. Now, I don't know anything about him. I don't like his age to overall. If you know that he gets good, this could be a good trade to make. Trade Staal for Sherback plus whatever. If you know that he gets good, let me know. That could be another option. New York is a hopeful team. Now, if we're trying to make it quote-unquote realistically, New York has a shitty franchise. They are terribly ran. They have made such poor moves over the course of many years, going back to when they had a bajillion draft picks and absolutely none of them panned out. They just lost Kyle Okposo to free agency. If we're talking about realistic, in real life, you could probably get a good steal out of a trade for the Islanders. One guy I was looking at is Dylan Strome, perhaps. 23, 85 again. Do we trust him to get up to like an 88 overall? He could be a nice guy to go after. Strome for Staal. Now they do, in the game, realistically, they do want him. And his trade value is almost half because they want him. We could definitely do this trade. Staal for Strome plus. That's another possibility. I don't like copying what I did in previous GM modes, but if we traded Staal to Ottawa, we could probably wheel and deal and get Brown, Pajot, and Curtis Lazar. But again, I don't really like getting the exact same players I got in previous GM modes. But I'm just literally I'm turning on the camera every time I just come up with a possibility for a trade. Ottawa's another one. Jonathan Drouin is a really interesting one. Now, Tampa Bay, their status is champion. So they're going for it. And imagine if they had Stamkos. They would probably have, obviously it's a hypothetical, but they could have won the Cup if they had Stamkos. They just went to the Cup 2 years ago. And, we might, and they want Jordan Staal in the game. And looking to the future, they're going to have their hands full. A lot of the time, they lose either Hedman or Johnson. I guess we're giving them cap in Jordan Staal. I don't know how much sense that makes, but forget that. But we could potentially give him to Tampa Bay, the champion team. We could maybe get Drouin, maybe Radish. I don't know. Maybe a possibility. How many times have I said possibility? God, I should have a counter. So that is about all the quote-unquote realistic-ish trades I can come up with on the spot. Again, we don't have much to trade right now. It's looking like we should tank. Let me know what you think I should do with the team. Should I even make an attempt to contend this season? Because if so, we can definitely spend money in free agency, bring on Wisniewski, bring on Semin, Eliash, Kennedy for some depth. Maybe I should bring those guys on anyways, just to at least have a formidable NHL team, right? But let me know what you think I should do in terms of what I think are tradable players. Let me go to trade value. Forwards, I'd say Staal. Teravainen, Zykov. And then in terms of overall, we could trade Stefaniak, Stolberg. They don't have much trade value, but we could maybe get a bit for them. In terms of defense, Ron Hainsley, potentially, let me go to trade value, potentially Fleury, Bean, and McCowan. And then goaltending, we can definitely trade Cam Ward, but His trade value is terrible. What's his contract, by the way? Okay, it's not that bad. And potentially this goalie, too. I don't like his I don't like his age to overall differential at all. We do have an extra second-round pick. We're going to have to draft very strong, so I'm going to spend a lot of time nitpicking and micromanaging the scouting. That's about it for episode 1. I'm pretty sure I covered everything I need to. Yeah, very excited to get it going. Very excited. Let me know what you think of the team. Let me know what you think I should do in terms of trading. Should I make a trade right away? If you think I should tank, I'd say it's best to trade Jordan Staal as quick as possible. Just to rapidly increase the rate of which we can tank at. I don't know who to trade him for. I don't know who to trade for at all. I don't know what to do with the offense. Now, again, defensively, we're pretty set, which I like. We got Falk and Hanifin, which are going to be our top 2 defensemen of the future. We got Slavin and Fifi, which are going to be top 4/top 6. McCowan, Bean, perhaps. So defensively, we are set. Goaltending-wise, now even if this goaltender doesn't pan out, usually you can pick up a goalie in free agency. I'm not too worried about goaltending. And also, usually you can pick up you can pick up an elite goaltending in the draft quite late, usually. So I'm not too concerned about goaltending, but offense needs to be figured out. But if we have Falk at like an 89, if we have Bean at like an 87, if we have Hanifin at like a 90, we won't need to have a bunch of 90s on offense. Maybe what we do is just get a real deep offense. Like, maybe our strategy is to get multiple 90s on defense and goaltending, and then just get a couple 87, or get like 6 87 to 89 players for the top 6, and then get a pretty solid bottom 6 as well. That's what I think we should do right off the bat without giving it much thought. Let me know what you think. God, this episode has gone on long enough. Well, I don't know what it's going to be when I cut out the scouting, but anyways, that's going to be episode 1. I'll leave it up for a day or two, maybe a few days, just to get as many comments coming in as possible. The early episodes are definitely the ones that I like to get comments the most, so any thought you have, write it down. Thank you for watching. I am so excited to get this going. We better fucking win a cup in Carolina. If we don't, no, we will. I'm positive. We got a new hope.